Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Jinx updated complete guide. Now she did get a 4 base AD nerf in patch 6.1a. However, I still think she is a pretty good champion, as you will see in the gameplay later on. But without further ado, let's advertise the Jinx basic guide. I'll put up in the cards above for her skills, leveling order, tips and tricks, as well as a couple of combos. But with that said, let's now look at her items, runes, and spells. So pretty much Jinx's build has not really changed for a very long time already. It's pretty much always been this standard build. Yes, there has been some kind of build variations like with Stormrazor and such, right? But you see, okay, the second guy's build is really weird, but you will see that basically the first and the third guy is basically using the same build as well. This has pretty much been Jinx's core build for a long while. So pretty straightforward. Gluttonous Greaves, early AD Omnivamp, Bloodthirster, a huge amount of AD, physical vamp, as well as more stats when you're high on health. Ruden's Hurricane, just to attack multiple people at the same time. Really important for getting a reset, and really important just for mid to late game team fights, which is really what Jinx was really built for. And then you have Blaster, more attack speed, as well as getting the extra range, allowing you to poke with your rockets before fights, i.e. of course for the huge amount of AD, as well as the extra crit damage, and of course more reminder for the armor pendant grievous wounds. Now you can swap around the order of IE and more reminder if the enemy team is incredibly tanky, but in general IE is going to always be a better earlier item because it just gives you a lot more stats. So for the runes, of course, Lethal Tempo for the attack speed and range, Brutal, Giant Slayer, Alacrity, and Bone Playing, the standard ADC loadout. I mean, I don't think I need to explain this in every video. I kind of just started saying it's the standard ADC loadout because there's not really too much to explain here. I think it's quite obvious why you go for most of these runes. And then from the spells, you want to go for Flash, and ideally you want to go for Ghost, because Ghost resets in addition to your alt resets are really helpful in running people down. Now, after stopping taking Ghost and taking like Cleanse instead, I've really realized that I'm not able to run down people as well. But the only exception is if you need Cleanse, because there's a lot of enemy CC, which is honestly most of the time nowadays, then you gotta go for Cleanse. But anyways, with all that said, let's move on to the gameplay section of the video. So let's take a look at the gameplay itself, but of course, as usual, before we do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Any questions, queries, or remarks, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Of course, I will be sure to address them. So let's talk a little bit about Jinx, right? So here you can see Leona engages on me level 1, but I'm not sure why she's doing that because, like, Tristana can't really follow up at level 1, right? She doesn't have a jump, right? So it ends up with me just getting a lot of free damage onto both of them. I have a full stack Lethal Tempo now with the bonus range. I'm just trying to keep it stacked. So here I can see I'm walking up for that auto just to poke. And whether Lethal Tempo or not, you always want to look for poke, right? So here, in this case, I got the extra range from Lethal Tempo. It makes it even easier to poke. So I'm just walking up, poking. Leona engages on me again at level 1. And once again, I'm just whacking her down. Like this time, it is actually a bit more damage. Here, yeah, we end up forcing the flash of the Jinx because Janna healed. She cleanses as well, and basically all the summon spells are used. Leona engages onto Janna this time. And here, unfortunately, the minion blocks me, but we're able to kill the Tristana because she doesn't have any summon spells anymore. Now here, Leona's 1 HP trying to recall. If she didn't level up there, we would have gotten the kill. So a little bit unfortunate on that one. Here we try to snipe her with the W, but we end up missing and taking a tower shot instead, which is pretty dangerous, but yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Jinx, right? After all of that action is over, right? So Jinx basically I think is somewhere in the middle of the pack in terms of ADC. I do still think she's a very solid carry, nerf or no nerf. But I just think her early game is very weak and she's very kind of support dependent, right? Because you really want an enchanter there to kind of protect you, or even an engager to peel for you, right? You need to kind of survive the early game in order to reach the mid and late game where you are able to, of course, output a lot of DPS and carry the team. And you always kind of have the weakness of kind of having no real good defensive tools and no real like dashes or no mobility, right? So no mobility is basically a huge problem aside from the resets. But if you're resetting, you're probably killing someone and trying to get more kills instead of running away. You do have your traps, but honestly, Jinx traps, like if someone just engages on you, it's really hard to use. The traps to peel effectively. I mean, yes, you can, but it's not great, right? So here, what we're doing with our kill, we already have a lead. We're trying to zone the enemy team off the minions, or at least make them overextend for it while giving them poke, right? So you see, Tristana here has really low range in the early game. Leona actually engages on me again, which once again is not a problem because Tristana cannot follow up, right? So when she engages on me, it looks bad, but in reality, her engaging on me is allowing me to get more damage onto her than she can get to me, right? Tristana has to jump away in fear. We still have the wave frozen here, and they can't really do very much unless we break the freeze, which is what we did. Because now I'm trying to maybe like crash the wave already. Now I'm not sure if Leona's looking for another engage, but Tristana has very obviously recalled. So we're just trying to push in the wave here. Now I know Tristana is on her way back, but not here yet. So here I'm just gonna get a tower plate. Leona is stepping up to try and defend the tower. Yep, there we go. We get the tower plate, and then we probably don't want to be walking this far up, right? Because Leona does have her spells, but we do have cleanse ourselves. So Leona is really, really low. We're trying to take her out. Now, unfortunately, Viego shows up. Now here, I'm trying my best to run away, which I am able to do with the help of my flash. Because I have to flash there, because if not, I'm going to die. And I kind of held my flash till the very last second to ensure that Viego couldn't catch up to me and Tristana couldn't finish the kill with her stacking lethal tempo. But with that, with the Viego out of the picture now and walking back into his jungle, we're now completely fine. We can now just go back to farming and back to business as usual. However, now without our flash, we're at a little bit more risk of the Leona, especially. This Leona seems to be very, very aggressive, trying to go in at all times. Now, Fiddlesticks now comes in for a gank. Leona engages onto Janna to escape the Fiddlesticks. Ult tries to make it back through, but we are able to finish the kill. Viego is now back in the lane, but Leona already is dead. Now, Lissandra is coming up, and Veigar is not moving, because I guess Lissandra can outpush Veigar. Now, I'm in a very awkward position here, and I don't have flash, if you guys recall. And I'm now just trying to run away with my cleanse, but it doesn't really work, and I do end up dying. Now Janna dies under tower as well. Fiddlesticks and Veigar basically come after everything is already over, and they are not very much help, except for maybe feeding the enemy team. Veigar nearly dies, and in the end he simply comes just to blow his flash, right, which is really, might as well just not come at all. But anyways, we're still in a decent spot. We're 2-1. Like with Jinx, if you get kills in the early game, I think that's already a win, right? Like here, we are even in terms of kills with the Tristana. Honestly, I would say this Tristana Leona lane is pretty nice to play against as Jinx, right? Because as I mentioned, you can use your range to really poke Leona and Tristana down, which makes it very hard for them to engage, because if they engage, they're normally going to be at a low HP, and this will normally lead to you killing them instead of them killing you, right? So here, once again, Leona's going in for really no good reason, right? She runs into traps, runs into the tornadoes, we just get a lot of free damage. However, we end up kind of getting baited here, because now we are caught completely out of position, and there is no way I'm escaping, and I'm not killing anyone either. So in the end, that's kind of on me. That we thought like Leona was trolling. I mean, I guess she kind of was, but really we are the ones that ended up trolling eventually by attacking her when we couldn't kill her, right? So she initially trolled first by engaging on us when no one was around, but then we trolled by attacking her when we couldn't really kill her that easily anyway, allowing time for her teammates to all come and help, and then her teammates kill us. So really, that was my mistake and completely avoidable. So now, unfortunately, we've died a couple of times now, and now we're behind in goal compared to Tristana, obviously because Tristana herself has just gotten a couple of tower plates and things like that. She now jumps away and is going for a reset, so I'm going to now push in. And actually Tristana's here, right? But I know Janna's on the way, whereas Leona has obviously just reset. So here, maybe I should have been a little bit more aggressive and not walk back and just kept fighting, because with a 2v1 we probably can maybe kill her, or at least I wouldn't die, I believe. At least I wouldn't die. So now we have enough gold for Bloodthirster, so we are going to take a reset of our own to pick up the Bloodthirster. So I would say this is a really interesting Jinx game, right? Because basically the game starts off pretty well with us getting 2 kills, and then it kind of goes a little bit sideways with us now getting 2 deaths, and let's see how kind of the game ends up, right? Because now we're pretty much even in goal with the Tristana. Tristana is a pretty good scaler as well, especially in the late game, but she does have a really weak mid game, which is really where Jinx is really strong. So we kind of have to take advantage of that mid game section of the game to kind of try to take over the game for our team. So now, with Tristana being relatively fed and Leona being a huge CC threat, now we actually have to play safe, because now if Leona engages on us, we are actually going to be in trouble. Unlike just now where if she engaged on us, it really didn't matter. But now if she engages on us, we probably get one shot by her and Tristana just using all their spells on us. So now we gotta be careful. So I was a little bit afraid that she would be in that bush, but I was thinking, you know, Tristana's far away, I have Cleanse and Flash, I should be fine. Turns out she's actually off warding or something. So it's all good. Now I'm going to continue on clearing these minions that I'm pinging that they're missing, because obviously now in this lane I can no longer really get priority. Here Engage comes in onto me. Viego is not coming here as well. I try to flash out the way and cleanse as well, but unfortunately with a dive like that, with Leona tanking the tower for days, there really is no way to survive that tower dive, and we end up going down. So once again, we start with 2 kills, and we end up now having 3 deaths. So the game is really going sideways, and now we're 1k goal behind the Tristana, who's now 4-1 and 4. Right, make it 4-1 and 4. So now we're in a little bit of we have a little bit of an issue, right? Because now we are no longer really doing very well. We are still going to scale. We're trying to snipe out the 1 HP Lissandra here, but we don't quite hit it. And now we're trying to defend our tier 2 tower. Unfortunately, tier 2 tower goes down, and now we're just going for the wave. Alright, so the most common back spot that they're going to use is the tri-bush. So I'm just launching into the tri-bush just to disrupt their back and just kind of annoying them a little bit. I assume Tristana completed the recall, but Leona did not. So here I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to wait until it's almost the end. There we go. So we disrupt the recall again. And I'm thinking she is either going into the other river bush or she's going even deeper in. So I'm headed there to try to cancel her again. I'm not going to face check it, but I'm just going to launch it in. So I guess maybe she wasn't recalling there. She was not. So it ends up that she basically just gave up on going back to base because of the continued disruptions to her recall. So now my team is now 5k goal behind the enemy team, and we have objective bounties up at this point. So my team in general is not in a very good spot. Of course, Vega is still 0-0-0, and he is scaling. But honestly, it's going to be a while before he's really very useful. So here, once again, I'm trying to snipe, but it's not even close because they end up, you know, running away instead of kind of staying where they were at. But Vega does get an objective bounty though, so that is pretty useful. Now with a huge fight going down in the bottom lane and Leona and Tristana rotating over to the mid lane, this is a golden opportunity for us to sneak this top tower and get the objective bounty. So this tower is also going to give us a reset, which will allow us to run away. So we're just going to quickly get this tower and just run away, right? Here comes Leona, here comes Tristana. Tristana is autoing me down. Really poorly placed traps by me. I slow down the Leona, and now Tristana is on me. Thankfully, we have Janna to kind of protect us. Tristana is trying her best to complete the kill, but I end up getting out safely with a lot of help from Janna and her spells. Now I'm trying to just reset, but the fight is migrating over to me, where now I end up in a little bit of trouble again. So now I'm kiting back, just blasting whoever I can. Now Mundo is now here to frontline for me, so now I'm thinking maybe I don't reset, maybe I keep going with Mundo as my frontline, and here Leona is going in. This looks like a free reset for me, so here we get the reset. Viego is now coming to kite us, and with the movement speed from the Get Excited, we are able to kite him out and able to help Mundo pick up the kill. Now we really need a reset because obviously we're 1 HP. We reset, we pick up Runans and the Kerkai shard as well. And here we do have Mordekaiser, who we can see on the replay too doesn't have ult, but in the game I'm thinking he probably has ult, so I don't really want to go too close to him when I'm not near tower, because if not he's going to ult me. So he ends up flashing away, and his unbeknownst to me his ult is still not up yet, so I'm out of his ult range, so I'm just autoing him with max range rockets just to get off a little bit of poke on him. And now his ult is back up. You can see that in the replay tool. So here once again I'm max range autoing him, right? So but he gets close to me and he actually ults me, but you can see I'm basically just running away from him and kiting him out. He gets rooted on my traps, and I'm just gonna finish him off with the rocket, and I actually 1v1 kill Mordekaiser in his ult, which I think is borderline embarrassing for Mordekaiser. He got completely outplayed. He got kited, and then he got trapped, and then he got slowed, and then he got rocketed, and then he just dies in his own ult, and that is embarrassing, honestly. Like against a Jinx who has like no mobility, like you die in your own ult, that is, yeah, that's not a good look, right? So here we clear the huge minion wave. Leona here is once again trolling because she's going in for no reason, right? This Leona has been doing this the whole game. We trap her, she's not gonna be able to get out. We get the reset on her. We're now running down Lissandra. We slow her, and she pops the ulti to try to save herself. We're ignoring Viego, running her down, giving us the reset. Now we're blasting Viego with the help of the reset. And all of a sudden you can see that Jinx being this reset kind of base champion, if the enemy team is uncoordinated like what they were here, you can really easily take advantage. See, we kill them one by one by one. Like we first kill Mordekaiser, and then we kill Leona, and then we kill Lissandra, and then we kill Viego, and then we kill Mordekaiser again after the respawn, and then now Tristana's here, and we're gonna kill Tristana next, getting the reset off the tower, and get the shutdown as well. So out of nowhere, from 2 and 3, we now become 7 and 3 because the enemy team has made the grave mistake of walking and fighting into me one by one, and this allows me to reset off the first person, kill the second person, reset off the second person, kill the third person, reset off the third person, and kill the fourth person, and then reset off the tower and then kill the fifth person, right? So essentially out of nowhere, I basically get 5 free kills, which now gives me the goal for Magnetic Blaster, and then allows me to pick up half of my IE components as well. Out of nowhere, I am now insanely fed, 2k gold ahead of the Tristana, and yeah, basically just insanely fed, right? It's just like insane, right? And here, now being insanely fed, and now getting to the mid and late game, I just have to stand in the backline like this. No one is attacking me. I'm just attacking every one of them for free. Right, I'm just blasting all of them, and we basically wipe the entire enemy team here. Only Lissandra is left alive, and I don't think Lissandra can solo defend against me and Janna. So here, we're just going for this mid lane tower. If she sticks around and we get a reset of this tower, it's also possible we kill her. So here you can see I'm just now starting to blast her down. Unfortunately, I missed the W there. If I hit it, I think I probably auto her twice more under tower and kill her. But we don't need to be over aggressive, for that one. And we're just gonna back off. On the way out, though, we're gonna run through the enemy jungle and deny them whatever is in there. Cutting even more of their income off. And now, from a 5k gold deficit, just now we're at an over 5k gold lead against the enemy team. We complete the IE, and we also have an additional longsword. Now we really wanted to go for we really wanted to go for like a stasis here, just for extra safety, or even a QSS, considering how much CC there is on the enemy team. However, I think completing the IE here is actually really important, because that boosts our damage tremendously. And now with this, you can see once again, Leona is like fighting Mundo 1v1 for no reason. And this allows me to like free stack my lethal tempo on her. Like, even though she's really tanky, I free stack my lethal tempo on her. I'm about to kill her. I need to like flash forward to get the reset on her. So I get the reset on her. I'm now running down the Lissandra, who this time cannot escape because we have too much stats at this point. And now we're just going to go for the end of the game, right? If Mordekaiser is going to, and Vigris is going to ignore us, we're just going to go for the end of the game. And there we have it. We just simply blast the Nexus into next week. And so with that, I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.